Hey, what's up you guys, it's Caboose XBL bringing you another DC video, I guess you could call it, and today what we're going to be talking about, ladies and gentlemen, the first official look at the Justice League in the DC Cinematic Universe. Yes! Okay, I'm sorry, I needed to get that out of me. So what we have here is our first official look at the DC Cinematic Universe's Justice League. There are a few things to take note of, a few things to talk about, most specifically the fact that we have our first look at the Flash and Cyborg in the DC Cinematic Universe, as well as mentioning that Green Lantern is missing from this photo. The main disclaimer though that I want to mention to you guys, that you guys should all be aware of, is that this is promotional art. So while I am going to be talking about it and giving my thoughts and everything like that, none of what you see here is a 100% correct representation of what these costumes will look like when we see them on screen. For instance, you can look at Aquaman there on the left. Doesn't look that great because it's promo art. But however, if you look at the actual Aquaman photo that's online, looks a lot more better, looks great in terms of quality and the way the suit is built. So take in mind this is simply promotional art. However, with that said, these are the designs that we will be seeing in the Justice League film. And of course, with that, we have our first looks at Cyborg and the Flash. Let's talk about these two characters real quick here. So Cyborg. One thing that immediately catches my eye about the design for Cyborg is that it looks a lot more alien-like rather than it does look more robotic as it does in the comics. Because of course, in the comics, he's kind of just this mix between half human and half robot, hence the name Cyborg. However, it seems like here just everything's kind of just implanted onto his skin. So from what I can tell, this is probably some form of Kryptonian technology that they've used to help, this character survive, to help him become Cyborg, I guess you could say. So I like that. I like the idea of that. I just wonder how exactly they're going to handle his origin and if that's going to be addressed in Batman v Superman. However, you guys know that I am the biggest fan of the Flash. He is my favorite superhero. So let's talk about the design for the Flash, as you can see there on the right. This is very interesting. You all know, or most of you are aware, that I don't really like the casting of Ezra Miller as the Flash. After seeing this costume, I have so much hope for his representation of this character. The costume is fantastic. It has this cool armored look to it. And while it isn't the best look, there's a lot of shadow on it. And it's right in the corner. You really don't get the good, like a full good look at the Flash costume. What I'm seeing here, I am really liking. The one thing a lot of people are complaining about on the internet is that the Flash lightning bolt is backwards. Honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal. There was never something in the comics that defined that lightning bolt had to be in that specific way. It had to be pointing to the left. There was never anything like that. It doesn't matter which way the lightning bolt is facing. The point is, that is the Flash symbol. It's there, and it's a great representation of the character from the comics put right here onto the big screen. I can definitely understand the concept behind it being fit inside this DC Cinematic Universe that is being created by Zack Snyder. So I totally get the Flash design, and the costume is great. Now, all I am hoping for is that Ezra Miller can perform this character. So my fingers are crossed. Overall, I am just beyond excited. The Dawn of the Justice League special premieres tonight on the CW at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you don't know what time that is in your time zone, just search up what your time zone is and find a conversion from Eastern to your time zone. Yes, we are probably going to get an official look of the Justice League tonight. So prepare your anuses. Prepare yourselves. It's here. The Justice League, the DC Cinematic Universe begins tonight. I'm Caboose XBL. Let me know what you guys think of this photo in the comment section below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Those links are in the description. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. See you guys later.